My name's Beaumont. I'm the Veterinary Director at Brentwood Veterinary Hospital.
Okay, Dr. Beaumont. Obviously, fireworks scare dogs. Is there a reason that maybe, is it because of sensitive hearing that they get scared easily?
I think it's more that it's a loud noise and they just don't know the source of the noise. So that's pretty scary. It's a little bit unusual for their, regular day-to-day life. To be honest, I'm not 100% certain exactly why they're fearful, but I can understand, if you're not really sure of what's happening, there's a sudden loud noise, that's pretty scary. Plus their hearing is a lot more, you're very right, our hearing is a lot more sensitive than ours.
So what happens to dogs when they do hear fireworks? Like, do they get anxiety? Do they kind of bark, or what are the symptoms they get?
It varies dog by dog. So some dogs not fazed at all, but other dogs can get very anxious and worked up with the fireworks. So it can be symptoms you would see would be shaking, shivering, panting, pacing. Some dogs get very destructive. They try and escape. So I've heard of people that have had doors or walls destroyed because their dog has tried to escape. Some dogs will try and jump fences or burrow through fences just to get away from where they think the noise might be. But those are the extreme examples. In most cases, it's a lot of shivering, shaking, panting, hiding away, or cowering would be the symptoms that you would expect.
So what can you do to calm a dog down if they're showing those symptoms?
Yeah, there's a few things that you can do. As a starting point, giving them a place that's safe and quiet that they can go, whether that be a room or a crate. You can try and muffle some of the outside noises by using white noise or the TV. And then you can try and make those scary experiences fun, positive experiences. So, playing games, using puzzle toys, giving them their absolute favourite treat, making those times, trying to associate those times with a fun, positive thing will make them a lot less scared and fearful. The other thing that you can do is reaching out to a behaviourist and doing some behavioural modification. Basically, you want to try and build their confidence, build their toolkit to manage scary situations and how they can, and giving them skills to cope with those scary situations. That can take a little while, so now's the time to prepare for next year's set of fireworks. The other thing you can do is reach out to your veterinarian. We do have some medications that we can use to help reduce that anxiety and stress. There are some over-the-counter supplements that you can use, but there are also some anti-anxiety medications that we can prescribe. Again, now is a really good time to reach out to your vet because some vets may require an examination before we prescribe anything, just if we haven't seen you for the last 12 months, or if we have never prescribed this medication before. We want to make sure that it's a medication that's going to be safe for your pet. It also gives you some time to do a practice run. So the last time you want to be figuring out that the medication that's been prescribed is not enough is on New Year's Eve. So making sure that you pre-prepare at least a week or so before the fireworks. Try the medication, see if it works, see if it's enough, see if it's too much, and then you can reach out to your vet and tinker with that dose so that you know that on the day that you need it, it's going to work the way you want it to work.
One thing I've seen is like these thunder shirts that they sell out for dogs. Do those help, or
yeah,
do you know
that's a
of
great
anything?
idea. So that's some other things that you can look into. So thunder shirts, happy hoodies are another one. There are some earmuffs that you can use. And then there's some supplements out there. So Adaptil is a really great supplement. It's a synthetic pheromone. It replicates the pheromone produced by mother dogs. And that comes as a collar, as a diffuser. You can also use it as a spray, so you can apply it to their crates or their safe zone. And then there's also some supplements out there. So Calming Care, Zilkine is another one, Soloquin. There's some great over-the-counter anxiety supplements that can help too.
Do you happen to know if, since puppies are new to the whole experience, are they more susceptible to these symptoms than older dogs? Or?
Usually it's the older dogs that are more susceptible.
Oh, okay.
Puppies aren't really aware of what's going on. You know, everything's fun, everything's exciting. They're still experiencing the world, whereas your older dogs, they're more experienced. They've heard the fireworks before. Often what you'll find is as they get older, their anxiety response can increase because they have those remembered experiences. Puppies, particularly puppies under that sort of 16 weeks of age mark, they're still in that really critical socialization period where they're experiencing new things. That's a great age to start reinforcing those positive experiences. So, you know, playing games, giving treats, doing some training, making it a really fun, positive experience as they're experiencing those loud noises. That way, in the future, they go, hey, I remember this time, it's loud, it's noisy, but I get the best treat ever. And so that will set them up for the future to make those big, scary things a little less scary.
And what for dogs that do run away, what are some things that an owner can do so that, you know, they know that they're safe? Is it like buying air tags to put on their collars or chipping? You know, what do you recommend?
So worst case scenario, if your dog does run away or escape, the best thing you can do to prepare for that is making sure that they're microchipped, and then also making sure that your microchip details are up to date. A lot of people don't realise that they haven't updated their microchip details, and the pets are still registered with the original breeder. So vets, your local vet can scan the microchip, double check the number so that you, and then you can search that number and find out which registry you're registered with, and then from there reach out to that registry and you can update those details. I know a lot of people use air tags. I haven't got a great deal of experience with that, but yeah, definitely if there's a way that you can keep a track of where your pet is, fantastic. Also making sure that your fences are checked, making sure they're a correct height for your pet. If your pet can jump 6 feet, making sure your fences are a little bit higher, and then also checking the bottoms of your fences, making sure that there's nowhere that your dog can push in and under. And again, making sure that family members are aware to keep doors closed. Just put the barriers in place on the day that you can. So, you know, if you know that a day that there's going to be fireworks, maybe keeping your pet confined to one room so that if the front door is accidentally left open, at least there's a second barrier in that room door to reduce the risk of them getting out and escaping as well.
So when they do escape, obviously they're more vulnerable to like outdoor pathogens and stuff. Do you suggest keeping up to date with vaccines?
Definitely, definitely. So the big one we want to really make sure that they're up to date with is the rabies vaccine. If you think about your pet, they've escaped, they're in a new situation, there's big, loud, scary noises. Even the sweetest dogs can become very terrified and they go into that fight or flight response. The last thing we want to have happen is for your dog to get terrified, to bite someone, and then for there to be a concern about rabies. So making sure that your pet is up to date with your rabies vaccine will help reduce those concerns quite considerably, and can also help reduce the isolation periods that are needed if your dog does bite another human. But the other thing to consider is, we're getting out, we're potentially interacting with other dogs, potentially getting into areas that we can't control, so making sure their flea and worm control is up to date as well. And that's another great conversation to have with your veterinarian about getting them up to date. During the holiday period, a lot of people are going travelling and their pets are spending time in boarding facilities. So again, making sure that your pets are up to date with their vaccines and parasite control so that they're not picking up any nasty bugs from boarding facilities. Try and do that well in advance as well to make sure that they've got the best protection by the time that they're boarded.